We live. We are live.
We're live. Oh,
We're live. Yeah, I'm just lighting up some incense.
incense.
Incense. All right. Let me see. Oh, do I not have it uncommented? But I've just no one here yet. Anyways, let's do this. Hi, everybody.
everyone.
Oh, here's Lucian here for us for hello.
Hold on. I gotta move Kitty.
We have a kitty.
Because I'm only gonna be here, guys, for a few seconds. But hi, everyone. Sorry about popcorn party not happening last night. I literally was running on like 3 hours of sleep from the night before. A full busy day at work. I was just way too exhausted to do anything, and Dave didn't want to go on unless I was on with him.
Yeah.
But I'm feeling so much better. I got
cat.
an amazing 10 hours of sleep last night, so my ori is all lined up, ready to go.
And now he's off to go spend money so that I can stress.
Yes, I am off to a botanica. Well, who said I was going to... Well, okay, yeah, I definitely want to get an Oya statue, a larger one. But
Ow!
Than that,
the cat is like
he's just-
clawing me. Let him need you.
But hi, Opal and Viola. I
Hi,
love your name, Viola. Tricolor.
Viola. Welcome,
Welcome.
first time. Love it. We love
Yes,
first timers.
That's awesome. But
This would be a good live to be a first timer because it's going to be pretty casual. I have a few things I want to talk about, but it's just kind of a chit chat. And if you guys have any questions, I'll answer some questions. But I wanted to talk about a couple of things. Well,
hi, Nicole.
and we will. Oh, hi, Nicole. How are you? Oh, yes. We all have our cuppas, right? You got to have a cuppa.
I feel
Like
rested. Very rested. Thank God.
And the cat is really, really... Oh, where are you going, Thor? You can't go that way. That's the microphone. Go ahead. Can you guys hear the purring? No, he's rubbing the mic. Okay. That way.
This is our cat Thor. For those who do not know.
Yes, Lucy looks rested. Good for Lucy, Mr. Rested over here.
I feel rested. I feel restored. My ashe is back. Yes, everything is just perfect today. The sun is out. It's going to get warmer.
It's an absolutely gorgeous day here today. Well, it's only 35 degrees, but the sun is shining, and it's going to be like in the mid 40s. That's pretty good for us.
Where are you going?
Yeah, Thor wants to be on the live.
Where are you going?
Ow. He does this knead thing, and it hurts like hell. Where are you going?
I was like, I don't care that you're in my way.
Ow, I don't know what he's trying to get at.
I don't know. He just likes to.
He's just hijacking.
Super lovable today.
He's just hijacking the live.
He's like, I'm just gonna cross here.
Look at him.
Rub up here.
Look at him.
Usually when he does this, you have to like kind of
Sit back and he'll lay on your lap. That's what he really wants to do.
Right. Anyways, so what is the purpose of today's live, Dave?
It's a chit chat, this and that. I want to talk about a little bit about Mercury and Gatorade because we all know it's that time.
Which I started this word, by the way.
No,
well, actually, I didn't start it. I saw the meme and read it to you. You laughed, and I've been using Mercury and Gatorade before anyone else on YouTube.
I don't.
Gatorade.
I don't think so. I am going to check the backlog of videos because I believe I used it first on a popcorn party when I said that I was going to destroy Mercury, the whole planet. That way it can't go in the Gatorade anymore.
Right.
It's going to my Gatorade shooter. But anyways, the reason why I want to bring that up is, and I want to talk about, I want to talk about a little bit, some self-help, and a mindset sort of thing. We have a lot of stuff I want to talk about today. Hi, you can't really chat because this laptop won't show it. I'm loading a video on my phone and everything is slowed down. Oh, I'm sorry, Sonia. The internets are not behaving for Sonia today. Come on, internets. but yeah, I was like, and we'll talk about mindsets. So, and the reason, let me tell you the reason why we're going to start this with Mercury and Gatorade. I was at work, and I've been super busy with work and a lot of crap, not negative crap, shouldn't say crap, but just been really busy lately. I didn't realize Mercury had gone into retrograde.
Yeah.
So I'm at, and Lucian's farting next to me. Okay, time for you to, the Botanica's calling you. Go ahead.
Bye, everybody.
Botanica, buy me something. So anyways, I have a few witchy friends at work that we talk a lot about, and one in particular, not going to mention names,
Not the cat.
But Mercury and retrogrades tend to hit her a little hard. And we were talking, and she had made the comment of, oh, Mercury in retrograde, nothing's going right. And I was like, Mercury's in retrograde? How did I miss that? And it got me to thinking, because I've been also doing a lot of just, holding different various crystals and just feeling their energy and just kind of trying to get myself in tune to energies.
I'm back very quickly. So did anyone else experience anything really weird yesterday during Gatorade? Because this was so weird, other than the fact that I was super exhausted yesterday. So I walked in, my manager walks in, starts bawling her eyes out, and then my coworker literally just starts bawling her eyes out. And I'm sitting there like, well, this is awkward. I just want to go to sleep. I don't care about anyone else's issues today. But I don't know what it was. They both came in and just started crying. I was like, so this is the kind of day we're going to be having today. I can already sense that. But other than that, my Gatorade has actually been okay. So when I'm at work, Gatorade is good.
No.
When I get home, that's when everything goes wrong. You should have seen me last night. I tripped over the freaking stuff over here. The rice somehow that I was trying to put into the trash can jumped out of the trash and onto the floor. I burnt my finger on something, and oh my god, it was just a disaster. Yeah. But as long as work was good, that's all that matters.
Yeah. No, that was just yesterday.
But you didn't have heard of me. I'm like, God damn it! And Dave's like, what's wrong? Which is funny because half the time it's reversed.
The other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, and that's just tip of the iceberg. No. Lucian's been Gatorading for the past few days. Even what happened yesterday, you got mad at the cat's dish and you stomped on it, shattered the dish,
shattered the bowl.
There's pieces of glass everywhere. I'm like, what?
And normally I'm very calm when shit starts happening. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. It's on the floor. Just pick it up. Yesterday, what did I do? I tripped over the...
No, you walked in the house. You tripped over something there.
Yeah, I tripped over the wire, bumped into that.
Bumped into your table, knocked everything off of that table onto the floor. And then, I don't know why, because you went out of view. All I heard was the blooming dustpan fall, you throwing it, ba-bang, ba-bang, and then the rice. Oh, help me! Chubby dog, help me! The rice is on the floor, and it's probably because let me tell you about Lucian. Drives me a little crazy. He loves his rice.
Good morning, Auntie Mom.
So he will have rice and chicken for dinner. He'll eat a cup of rice. He will cook a gallon of rice and eat a cup of it. So the rest of it sits on the pan on the stove and just sits there. And it must have sat there a little too long. And, the pan's got a cover, so I didn't really notice it.
And the other time.
And it was kind of stanky.
It was all it wasn't stinky, it was goopy. So
you were doing the gag thing, so it must have stank.
Okay, yeah. But I went to toss it into the trash can, and somehow it went into the trash can and then decided to jump out the trash can onto the damn floor. So here I am trying to pick it up with my hands, gagging my eyes out, telling Dave to help me, tossing it in there. I went to go grab the broom, and I tripped over the dustpan part of it. It fell down, and I stubbed my toe on Thor's or Loki's dish. And at that point, I had it. So I went to go step on the dustpan because I was just mad at it, and I ended up breaking and shattering the entire dish.
Yeah.
I was like, whatever.
I
was like, I cannot deal with this right now.
It was like, this is what it sounded like. The door opened. Hi, I'm home. He trips on the first thing. Didn't yell or anything. Then trips on the wire, knocks the stuff, and he's like, oh, what the hell? Starts yelling, walks out, trips on the dustpan once, throws the dustpan, screams. Then there's the rice. Then he's like, oh, it jumped out of the garbage can. Somebody help me. The rice is on the floor. And then, of course, I still don't get up. And then I hear the dustpan. It's one of those dustpans with the handle on it. I hear that thing rattling and banging. And then all of a sudden, I get up and he's stomping on the dustpan in the cat dish. And it's just, yeah. So, needless to say, rewinding back to the moral of this whole little story, is that I have not been feeling any real hardcore effects from this Gatorade. And I don't know
when I get home. We need freaking sage this.
No, the thing is, in my discussion with my coworker, we were talking about manifestation of negative energy. And I think, and I big time do this. I do this all the time. I am a glass half empty sort of person. I acknowledge this. I try to own it, and I try not to be glass half empty, but that is just my nature. It's like, I'm like today's Rodney Dangerfield. I'm like, oh, why me? Why me? Like, my GERD's acting up this morning. That's what happens when you eat McDonald's. It's like, I'm a why, woe is me, why me, like Eeyore. And the thing is, I made this realization that because I didn't realize Mercury was in retrograde, I didn't feel it. And now I don't feel it. So here's the thing. And plus, I've been trying to, so I backed away from the whole spirituality thing for a while. And recently I'm getting back into it. I have, you can't see it, it's out of camera on the table. I've got a little bear on Yosemite altar set up because he just happens to be one of the deities that reached out to me. Him and Apollo recently reached out to me to start, hey, we're here, start working with us. And I've been just kind of easing myself back into spirituality. I've got a couple of crystals here that I've been kind of, there's the camera. I do this thing where I will sit and I will hold the crystal and just absorb its energy. And I've been doing a lot of this lately. And I happen to be doing, this is my, one of my eggies. This is striped ragonite. Yeah. And I think between that and a lot of that stuff, I don't remember. Kambaba Jasper.
The crocodile Jasper.
Crocodile Jasper, sure. So, and I'm thinking I've been keeping myself, and I've also been doing a lot of meditating lately. And what I'm going to talk about a little bit later on is journeying, which if you follow my other live, the how to be a wizard, we're going through this book here, and we'll be coming up on the section that's titled Dream Walking and Journeying. So I've been doing a lot of that lately, and what journeying is, and we'll talk a little bit more later on in the live, but it is basically getting yourself into a deep meditative state with, a lot of, I don't want to say professional journey guides, I don't know what you call them, monks, whatever, will use mugwort, wormwood. I am a little skittish on that. I just don't know the effects on the body. I'm, pretty holistic. So I use a specific blend of cannabis that I've created to get the euphoric effects, meditate, and you go journeying that way. It's all the same thing, right? You use wormwood or mugwort and you get high as a kite and you meditate. That's like the that's like the down and dirty. But I started doing that when I was trying to figure out what my spirit guides were. And I got the idea, she's not here, I don't think she in here. I got the idea from October
Morning, Skyberry. Hello, love.
And I got to go through I'm going to do my highs in a minute. But I got the idea from her. It's just a purposeful journey. And of course, I did that. I found out who my spirit guides were. And I've been just kind of doing that. I call it assisted meditation. And maybe I'll touch in a little bit on cannabis. I know it's the taboo subject because some people are good with cannabis and some people are like, it's the devil. Ah! Do I have a cross? I'm like, back. But the thing is, and I know that I'm like, the bus driving wizard, as I've become known. And not all of you are going to know what that means, and that's the tongue-in-cheek fun side of using cannabis. But there's a serious side, the health benefits, the reason why I do it, which I haven't even got into. But it ends up, you're not in camera.
I know.
Oh, what are you doing?
Hi, everyone. Okay, so I'm headed to the Botanica. So I will see you all later. Just wanted to pop in again and say hi. Bye. No. Stop. That's fine. So rude. Okay, bye, everyone. Love you.
Bye, guys. Well, bye, you. Not you. I'm not leaving. He's leaving. I don't know why I said bye, guys. Bye, Chubby Cow.
Bye.
You need the hood on. If you're going to be Kenny.
Ow, my ears. Oh, my God.
You're going to be Kenny. All right. Let's go through the comments really quick. I almost said hi, StreamYard. Hi, Opal. Hi, Viola. Hi, Nicole. Hi, Emily. How are you?
Sonia. Hi, Katie.
Hi, Katie. Hi, Witchy in the Woods. Hi, Emily. Did I say Emily? I think I said Emily. Hi, Auntie Mama. Love that name, Auntie Mama. Hi, Sky. How is everyone doing? Did I miss anybody? I think that's everybody.
Hi, Denise.
Oh, hi, Denise. How are you?
Thank you, Denise.
Oh, he's going to have a great day.
Yesterday I was exhausted.
He's got $100 in his pocket. He's going to go spend. So he's going to have a great day.
Stop. I'm going to go tell Mom.
I wasn't getting anything. There's like a strawberry stuck in the straw.
Oh.
So anyways, yeah, so we'll talk about a bunch of that today. So,
bye, everyone.
All right, see you later. So Mercury in retrograde. What can we do? What have I learned from this experience? The first thing is to be careful of manifesting negative energy. I think we do that a lot as people. I think it's human nature. And what typically happens with me is that one little thing goes wrong and then the mindset hits, it's going to be a bad day. And then you set yourself up for all the little things that are going to go wrong. And it just kind of snowballs into this catastrophic day. And then all of a sudden it goes to the next day. And now it's like a full blown, I'm going to have a bad month because, because of this or that. It hasn't really dawned on me until this past week. And I've been keeping that in mind. What are you doing? You are so discombobulated. So, that's the one thing I've learned is that, yes, retrograde or no, that mindset gets going. Exactly, Nicole. It's just a lot of it is this mindset. And, we get into this mindset and all of a sudden we're having these bad days. Opal says, yes, one bad thing snowballs into a whole day being bad. So what can we do? Right? As people, now we're aware of this. We're aware that we can allow that one bad thing to set the course of our day, and all that snowball effect is going to just ruin the whole day, then the whole week, so now we know that this happens. What can we do to kind of circumvent it. Well, the first thing we do is when that little thing happens, we can acknowledge it and take a minute, step back and be like, deep breath, and move on from it positively. I try to take a step back, think of one thing that's going good, and move on from that. Another thing is we all love crystals, and I will always keep some of my favorite crystals nearby. I've got like a handful in my bag, and they make good meditation targets. Sometimes, like when I get home, I'll grab, like I've been using this ball for a while. I will grab it and I kind of put it in my hands like this, and I sit folded in my lap, and I'll meditate for about 15 minutes, just clearing your mind and just kind of letting go. As I was taught by an old mentor, when learning how to meditate, she did guided meditations with me. A lot of it for me, a lot of it's very visual. Distractions, when you're trying to meditate and you get hit with distractions, you imagine yourself, you put them in a bubble, like a little bubble, you blow through you blow it and bubbles fly away, and you let that thing fly away for that moment. That bad thing, like in Lucian's case, he tripped on the wire, or the cat dish or the rice. Put it in a bubble, let it fly away for that moment. Deal with it later.
Do you actually follow your own advice, Dave?
Yes, I do.
You don't.
Yes,
I
do.
Pissed off and want to throw it. Put it in a bubble.
I'm gonna put Lucian in a bubble, and I'm sending him away.
Bye.
Bye. Drive careful.
I will.
Okay. Yeah. So let's see. Let's go to the comments. What have we got here? Nicole says, bling babies, as opposed to fur babies, always have a pocketful and possibly in the old bling baby. I never thought of them as bling babies, but yes. Yeah, absolutely. Denise says, after I take a deep breath, I think about the bad day in my mind. I tell it to go. It's not welcome no more. And mentally push it away with another deep breath. Yeah, that's very similar. I put it, you put it in a bubble, you send it away, and just focus on the positive aspects of it. So that's one thing I've learned this week. Is that that's Lucian posted it. I can't believe he put me in a bubble. Yeah, he's going to be Bubble Boy. that was Lucian. So that's the one thing I have been thinking about, which has got me into just doing a few other things for meditative purposes, getting in contact with deities, because that's another good thing. I've told the story about how Banwan Samdi called me to work with them. I'll give you the synopsis. I was home on a Saturday by myself. Lucian was working. I was cleaning and I was smoking. A little bit of pot, and it was so my mind was in that state. For me, cannabis use, for one thing, opens up my third eye. It really gets me calm. I take it because I have ADHD, hyperactivity disorder. Like, I don't know if you guys notice in my lives, like I haven't smoked. I don't really wake and bake, but I don't sit still. This is me. And like, I'm at work, we got the rocking chairs in the conference room, and I'm like this in the rocking chair. The conference room table chairs, and I'm like this. Dun, 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 dun. Can't sit still. It's just a disorder I have, and I use cannabis to kind of calm myself down. Let me see. Nicole says, I try to visualize a pink or purple bubble surrounding me. I keep a rose quartz wand at my desk at work that I use to help visualize and create my bubble. No one puts. Oh, I put them in a bubble. I'm going to put them in a real bubble. But yeah, exactly. And that's part of when I'm not so much meditate. So when I meditate, I visualize or envision myself going places. I travel in my meditations, if that makes sense. But when I ground, cleanse, so now sometimes I meditate with a purpose, and if it's grounding, cleansing. Oh, October's here. Hi, October. When I sometimes I purposefully meditate, and sometimes I'll want to cleanse myself. In that instance, I'll envision each inhale, I'm like sucking in clean universal energy, and when I exhale, the spent energy, gets recycled from Mother Earth. That's a cleansing meditation, and a protective meditation is where I use the bubbles. Now I envision it as a white bubble that surrounds my body. And as I meditate on it, it gets harder and harder and becomes a shell. But so that's like a little bit of meditation. And yeah, I love the idea of our bling babies. We all have a bunch of bling babies. So that's the first thing you could do during retrograde. I think during retrograde, it's really good to focus on the spiritual aspects of, on your craft, but the ones you get calming from. Working with deities is great. When I work with deities, I usually, again, it's more of a meditative thing where I will call upon them and try to connect with them, which is also a great thing to do during retrograde. And as I had mentioned, there's the old, what I call the old wizard pipe. But before we get, let me see, a few more people popped in. Oh, I did that by accident. Let's see. We have a few more people that popped in. I thought I saw someone new. Hold on. No, I guess. Oh yeah, Kay. Hi, Kay. I don't know if we said hi to Kay, but yeah. Good morning, Kay. Welcome. One thing to be careful. So now I'm going to talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about cannabis and how I use it. Because we had mentioned spirit, or journeying, or as in the book, it's more like dream walking. This is a very similar thing. Cannabis is one of those things that you got to keep in mind that it's a mood enhancer as well as, like, I don't know what you call it, not an intoxicant, but like, you guys know what I'm saying. If you're in a really, really bad, foul mood or mad, yeah, you don't want to, because that could lead to paranoia. But there's tricks to combat that. But what I do when I'm really wanting to get into a deep or heightened meditative state that really basically is the basis of dream walking, or journeying, whatever you want to call it, just getting into that higher meditative state. Cannabis works really well, specifically blended, right? You want to have a hybrid. So as I said, cannabis is divided into two subsets, or let's just call them two subsets, or parent strains, indica and sativa. Indica is the body relaxing, what you want to take before you go to bed, calms you down, puts you to sleep. Sativa is the uplifting stuff that gives you the head or euphoric effects. Both of them on their own will literally have those effects, right? You don't want to try to do like a dream walk with either of those purely, because if you do pure sativa, you may end up getting paranoid, depending on how much you do. And indica's you're just going to fall asleep. You're just going to try to meditate and you're going to be snoring. So I blend the two. Another good thing is to have a little bit of CBD handy, because if by chance you get paranoid, pop a little CBD, takes the paranoid right away. Then you get yourself, and like I said, you could do this. I've never done it with wormwood, mugwort. There's a few other herbs you could use. There's different teas. So somewhere in this book, when we get to that section, Oberon started journey, and I don't know where he mentions it in the book. I remember he did. He went somewhere in Tibet, and it was a tea that they drank that gave the hallucinogenic effects when you get to that journeying. So there's many different ways to achieve that, and I just use what I feel comfortable with. I use cannabis because I use it and I know the effects on the body, or lack thereof, and I use that. And it's for me, it works really well. Oh, wait a minute. See, October. She's the one. I'd love to have her. I gotta get you on this show because she's the one that inspired me to kind of experiment with this sort of thing. Well, October, who my God, my train of thought. October, who's actually my new Reiki master. She's doing I call it my refresh through Reiki, because I am a Reiki master. I just don't have all of my old certificates, and I've been out of practice for years. But October's the one that got me a little bit inspired with a lot of the journeying. But yes, I don't know how to pronounce it. Whatever that kind of tea is what's used to do that. And Emily says she's always wanted to try it. I've been curious about it, but I have insensitive being, and I could do a whole show on what it's like to be me. Woe is me. Going back to my glass half empty. So I have depression, I have anxiety, and I have ADHD. I can't think of any other thing that life can throw at me to make me a mental case. But I'm blessed with those three gems, those three wonderful gems. And so in dealing with it, I have to also be careful what I take, because I have a lot of insensitivities to things. Like before I even went live, Lucian went out and got breakfast, and I'm like, is this decaf? Because he goes to the drive-thru and they always screw it up. And I'm like the decaf Nazi, because if I drink caffeine in the form of an iced coffee, I get palpitations, and that's a whole other story. So I have these insensitivities. And it's high fives. Welcome to the Trifecta Club. Yeah, I've been I never heard it called the Trifecta Club, but yeah. It is a pretty tough thing. So I have found, And I'll tell you, even let's since this is open forum, and I want to actually put this out there. If you guys have, we're just kind of doing a sesh thing today. So and I'm talking about a couple of things that have been on my mind. But if you guys have any questions or any thing I want to talk about today, now's the time. Just kind of post it in there. Post it in all caps like this, like Jack does, and it'll get my attention. Yeah. And October, I'm thinking the same thing. We really do need to have like a journey together. I'm trying to get Matt to do it. Hope he's not listening. I just used the M word. I'm trying to get Lucian to do it. Because Lucian, I hope he's not listening. He's going to yell at me. Lucian is the type of person that goes head first into things full force. And even like what he's doing now when he's working with the Orisha, behind the scenes, he gets frustrated a lot. I mean, I think it's because he's trying to process information from so many different sources that conflict. Because right on the internet, everyone's got an opinion. And 50,000 people are going to tell you 50,000 ways to do things. And it leads to frustration. I want him to go on a journey with the purpose of reaching out to his Orisha. They will talk to him. Yeah. We got to do this as a group. We got to do this as as the three of us. And I know just based on how things have happened with me, with Apollo and with Bawan Samedi, both of them came to me when I was pretty much high, pretty much, been smoking. The Bawan Samedi still surprises me to this day, and I love telling the story because I'm in the kitchen. You're like, oh, yes, I'm lit. I hold no qualms about it. I was riding the bus good that day. And for those that don't know, riding the bus is a term that I coined because so we were at Tarot Stock, and I was going to go outside to smoke, and Hexen was like, oh, I want to come. I want some. And like, when you're smoking, the more the merrier. So I was on my way out to do it. And he's a lot like Lucian. Was like, well, we're going to do things, and he'll putter and he'll lose focus. And I was like, hey, I'm going now. It's like the bus is leaving. I just said that. And he's like, oh, don't let the bus leave without me. So I coined this term, riding the bus. Riding the bus just means token up. Now that I clarified that. So I was riding the bus on one particular Saturday, and I'm cleaning the kitchen because I'll tell you what, you smoke a nice sativa heavy hybrid and you have something to do, at least this works with me, and it could be because I'm ADHD, you get hyper focused. And I was cleaning the kitchen. One thing I just can't stand doing because I hate cleaning. But anyways, Lucian's Bawan Samedi statues just started talking to me. And as loony as that sounds, that's what happened. And this is what started, my excuse me, guys. I got a slight little cold going on. But it could be more allergies because here in southern New England, the weather is just so batshit crazy. 2 days ago, it was like 15 degrees, and today it's going to be 50. You can't win. The body just can't take it. But one thing I do when I work with Bawan Samedi is I take this black candle. Lucian says black candles are best for him. And as an offering, I will sprinkle a little bit of the green stuff in there. Okay. And I will find my lighter, which is right here, and I will light the candle. I don't know, we're kind of digressing, but I forgot to light this candle. And that's kind of how I do my cannabis offerings to balance sanity. So let's oh, hi Gypsy. How are you? Welcome. Yeah, so I really think it would be a good idea for Lucian to do that, because he'll connect with whatever Alicia is speaking to him. When I did my journeying the first time to try to figure out who my spirit guide was, it was funny. I was deep in meditation, and it started out as like a griffin. I was. Wait a minute. No. It started out as an eagle, right? A bald eagle, the white head, brown body. And as I got into that place, the eagle transformed into a griffin. So that metamorph is my spirit guide. So in the mundane world, spirit animals for me are eagles. And it's funny because we have an eagle here so I live right over there is a lake. And there's woods on the other side, and we have an eagle that lives somewhere over there. And he's always flying around. So that's my mundane spirit animal. My spiritual spirit animal is a griffin. Never knew this. I always called my cats the spirit animals, which I do stay in touch with their spirit. Right. Our fur babies definitely are here with us in spirit and physically. But it's just a mind-opening thing. And Opa says, I get depressed due to my disabilities issues. Yeah, I mean, we can get depressed. And here's the thing with me is sometimes I get depressed and I don't know why. And that's true, I don't want to say clinical depression, because it's like sometimes you can get depressed over a situation or a thing, but what's really frustrating is when you just wake up and you're just depressed. You don't know why. It just is just something switched in your body, and you just feel like crying the whole day, and you can't put a finger. To me, it would be easy if, okay, I get depressed because I'm bald. Well, you know what? You can face that issue. But being depressed because you just don't know why, you can't really get help for it. It becomes like a chemical thing. Yeah, and Opal says those days suck. They really do suck. And here's the thing: with trying to treat my ADHD and my depression, believe me, I've tried every different medication out there. Even for ADHD, I've been on Ritalin, turned me into a complete zombie. I have gaps in my memory of times when I was on Ritalin. Luckily, my mom was in nursing, and I was only on that particular drug for a month, and she was like, "No, this ain't happening." So I tried that. I've tried Adderall, and you think caffeine makes my heart race? Adderall, can't touch it. None of these things I can take. I just the side effects are worse than the illness. Which is where I read a study that was out of, I don't remember what university. It was out of Britain. I was out of London, where they did a test on using cannabis, and they studied on cannabis's effect on ADHD. So, does anyone know let's talk a little bit about ADHD. I thought it was his own open forum, and I haven't seen any questions come through, so we'll just keep going on an ADHD for a sec. ADHD is caused by the lack of or low levels of, I don't have my notes in front of me because I wasn't prepared to talk about this, but ADHD is caused by the lack of a chemical in your brain. I think it's dopamine. So people with low levels of this in their brains, have these. Serotonin's maybe it is serotonin. The serotonin is a light source sort of thing. I think that's more of a depression thing. But anyways, they did a study on people who regularly smoked cannabis, and they found that it's a byproduct, not while you're high, but like a byproduct of overall regular use increases dopamine in the brain. So by smoking weed, I at least can combat the focus part of ADHD. The hyperactivity, I'm still very hyper. It does calm me a bit. Calms me quite a bit because like I wouldn't, without having anything in my system, I wouldn't be able to even sit in front of this camera and do this live. It's like I got restless leg syndrome, things will be wiggling. I'll be, playing with things and rocking. I do this thing, but because I kind of smoke fairly regularly, I don't smoke a lot. So here's a funny thing, because people think I'm just a plain up dope head. I do smoke just about every day, but here's the thing. Let me see. Props. Do I have any props? I don't really want to show much on YouTube because YouTube gets skittish about cannabis. But this is a doob tube, and inside there's like a blunt. It's like a typical blunt. Most real potheads will smoke that whole blunt in one sitting. If I did that, forget it. Forget it. The Tweety birds that are flying around my head will carry me off somewhere. I come home, take a couple hits, put it down, get feeling relaxed. Maybe I'll take a couple more hits in an hour or so. So it's literally one blunt will last me like almost a week. So it's not a heavy use. It's just enough to keep me idle. And the thing is, it helps. Opal points out, yes, due to my anxiety and depression, I tried all sorts of meds. Not on any. Sometimes they just don't work. Everybody is different. And that, I'll tell you, that is why I'll tell you, I'll sing the praises of cannabis all day long. And not even the mind altering part. You can go, and depending on the state, but CBD is legal in all 50 states. So what's CBD? Let's dig in a little bit more. Why not? We'll talk a little bit about cannabis. Cannabis is made up of many different things in the plants, trichomes, terpenes, which does flavor. And then you have a couple of forms of THC. That's the stuff that gets you high. THC gets you high. And then there's CBD, which has an entirely different effect. It doesn't get you high. It's more of a relaxer. And that aspect is you can get that in all 50 states. And it's also a good thing for anxiety. It's calming. I don't know its effects on depression. I haven't gotten much out of pure CBD for depression, but everybody's different. Every person's different. And you just kind of try. You go to the store, get some CBD gummies. I've got some over there, and you try it. The thing is, yeah, there's so many different medications out there for these afflictions, and they just don't work. Let's see here. Here, even CBD oils are illegal. Oh my God, where are you, Viola? Because I always thought, the oils, maybe I always thought, because I was under the impression that all 50 states CBD was legal, unless it's just the oils. Because I know a coworker, another coworker, we were talking about CBD, because she has insomnia. And she sent it to me. Give me a sec, because I think it's in my email. Give me a sec. Right here. She goes to a site called Social CBD, and she gets lemon ginger CBD oil drops, and she puts like 2 drops under her tongue and sleeping. Let's see. Oh, Sweden. I didn't realize. I thought they were. Oh, I thought Sweden was a little more open. Well, hopefully it kind of, will open up, because as science progresses, and as people realize the benefits of some of these things, it'll start growing and being, more legal. Denise, this is the one. Ontario, you can buy pot or oil at the local store now since it's legal. Yeah, here too. I do. As a matter of fact, tomorrow morning, I do what I call my my ganja runs. The problem here is it hasn't been legal for that long, and they don't have a whole lot of stores. So I get there, and so the lines, like these places, the lines go around the building. It's literally like Black Friday buying weed around here. So on Sunday morning, I found if I get there, they open a little bit later, and I get there half hour before opening on a Sunday, and I could get right up towards the front of the line, and I can get in and out and get my stuff without it taking a whole damn day. But yeah, so these things, can be very beneficial for dealing with that. Insomnia. So I touched on that because I had a coworker that has insomnia. It's very, very, again, certain strains, very, very good for insomnia. If you're interested and you're in a legal state, I'll tell you what. Download the app. So remember I spoke. Let's dig in a little bit more. So I'm going to turn on notification. I don't need notifications. Sorry. Hi, somewhere. Hello, how are you? Somewhere in Time Tarot. Welcome. Like I said, my approach to cannabis is that of a wine connoisseur, and I'll tell you why. Let me open my drawer here, and because I can teach you a little bit. Oops. All right. So these are the containers that our dispensary, that's what they call it, sells these things in. And let me see. Now, they're not all going to be. Let's look at. So this one's called Cookies. So here's the thing. I downloaded on my phone this app called Leafly. And it's literally like the cannabis guide to everything. So I can go in here and let's type in cookies. Cookies. Search. I gotta do strains. Sorry. Let me bring this up. So it's called Critters Cookies. And what it does, it'll tell you, if I can get this up on the camera. It doesn't show up well, but it'll tell you the effects. It'll tell you calm or energizing. This one's the middle of the road. It'll tell you if it's available nearby. It'll give you some reviews, and it'll give you a breakdown. And I use that to kind of purpose drive my use, right? If I'm looking for something to go to sleep, right? Let me go back into my, because I know, let's see. Okay, USH. OG Kush. Da, 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 da. Hold on one second. Here we go. OG Kush is a good one for, doing right before going to bed, right? If you look at the graphs, you can't really read it, but the second one down is called relax. And that tells you it's going to relax you. So that's kind of my approach on it. If I'm going to do something with specifics in mind, right? If I'm gonna do something in the morning to kind of get me focused, and I have a huge huge task to do for the day, I'm going to take something more sativa and uplifting. But yeah, it's just the approach on, it's just like the whole wine. Even though wine isn't going to make you feel different, but certain red wines, you're going to eat with food, you're going to take with steak. Like there's nothing better than a nice full-bodied Merlot with a nice big piece of steak. Whereas, something for a casual get-together, drink while you're watching TV, I might do like a rosé. It's kind of very purpose-driven. Opal says my stepbrother uses that app, and it's a great app. So anyways, let's go to the comments. So it took me 15 years to find the right one to work for me. You just have to keep trying and find methods to push those feelings away. Exactly. It's, yeah. I've struggled with the trifecta, as Jack puts it, all my life. I mean, so D-Star says, indica for me all day. I've got a lot of physical pain. Yes. That's another huge benefit is physical pain, right? Now, remember, I said indica is, more of a body effect as opposed to the euphoric effect. If you got body pains, indica all day will take those pains away. That's a rhyme. Indica all day will take those pains away. And but it's really amazing how it really amazes me how, like, this plant has been illegal for so long, and now we're just starting to see some of the benefits of it. But that's kind of that. That's kind of the one tool I use to kind of keep myself even keel and balanced, especially through retrogrades. Another one, no. So let me see. Yes, all about. I'll tell you. Yeah. I actually, so knock on wood, I haven't had much in terms of pain, though. Last winter I had a little ski incident where a skier behind me failed to stop and caught the back of my ski, spun it around. Needless to say, messed up my knee and elbow. I was in physical therapy for about 10 months. And I actually, the physical therapist actually would massage CBD cream into, the sides of my knee and the elbow prior to the physical therapy part. And I'll tell you, even topically, the CBD can help the pains and stuff like that. But as a Now let's go back to talking about as the hallucinogenic part of it, which to me, I tell people to be careful. I even like talking with my doctor because my doctor knows, that's where I got the idea from. But it's something you've got to be really careful of, because not only is sativa the uplifting, and they say uplifting, but that strain can also be very mood enhancing. So that's where if you're having a bad day, smoking on some sativa may not be the best thing. Indica, sure, because that's going to relax you, right? Because you're already anxious. Or a hybrid. I do mostly hybrids unless I'm blending. But when I do things like journeying or dream walking, you want more of the euphoric. So I tend to do more sativa when I'm doing that, and I will eat a CBD gummy right beforehand, so that I get the euphoric effects of the sativa strain, but CBD kind of calms down the anxieties. And then you go into a dream walking meditation. It's just a great way to meditate, great way to relax, great way to reach out spiritually to things like spirit guides, spirit animals, and stuff like that. So yeah, that's that. I feel like I'm rambling now. I don't know what else I wanted to talk about today. What time? Oh, we're almost. Oh, what's the time? We're at 10:30. All right. So, does anybody have any questions? I'll probably wrap this up in about 15 more minutes. Even though I haven't seen Simon come in, but I know Simon usually has a live at 11 o'clock my time. So I like to give 15 minutes for folks to kind of get a cuppa and get ready to hop over there. But yeah, if there's any questions, let's see. I have another comment. Kundalini yoga and mantra meditations helped me a lot with anxiety and depression. I was so happy when I could walk into the store without panicking. Oh yeah. Yeah. Anxiety is another one. I talked about depression and waking up and, just the feeling like you want to cry for no reason. Anxiety is another one where it's like, you wake up or you just get that tightness in your chest and you just feel like the weight of the world. It's like you just feel like you're going to explode. And I'll tell you what, I have that, and I have GERD. And I don't know, GERD being, it's basically reflux disease. That can make your chest feel pressure and painful as well. Let me see. I don't think Simon's. Oh, he's on vacation. Oh, all right. Oh, we don't have to rush off then. We'll sit and babble some more. I love it. Yeah, that is a real debilitating thing. Depression, like when I'm having a depressed day and I'm at work, it's pretty easy to kind of sneak into the bathroom and get I go in the server room because like I'm one of two people that have access to that room in the building. And, I'll sit there and cry my ass out. But you got to do it. Those feelings are so overwhelming. You got to do it. I'll go at lunch in my car and, just let it rip. And there's nothing wrong with that. Hold on. I got to blow my nose again. I'm so stuffy. Sorry, guys. My garbage bag tipped over. Oh, no, my garbage bag tipped over. Fucking retrograde. Sorry. Just kidding. So So yeah, I mean, for me, anyways, it's a lot easier to deal with the depression part. Not that it's not as impactful, but when my anxiety is kicking in, it's hard because sometimes just walking out of the front door is a task, is a chore, and it's like I have my days when my anxiety's kicking in, and it's like I'm going to sit on the couch all day. Um, it's tough. It's very debilitating. And Opal says crying is a good thing too. Absolutely. Absolutely. There is nothing wrong with finding a nice private place and just bawling. Even for anxiety and stuff like that, you find a good quiet place and just scream. I was seeing a therapist, and he said, you see on TV where TV psychiatrists say, go scream into a pillow or go punch a pillow. It's actually true. You grab a pillow and just scream, let it out. The tensing and the gripping of your body and that energy and just letting it out, it helps. It helps. And Oba says, I had the same issue, Dave. Walking out the front door is hard sometimes. It really is. It's, I have those days where, work is pissing me off and I don't know, there's a lot of politics at the place where I work at, which doesn't help. But yeah, there's days where it's like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't. My anxiety is so bad. There's no way. And, I'll take a sick day, luckily it doesn't happen much anymore. And, and I'm gonna attribute that to, cannabis use, and CBD. And it still happens. I don't know when the last time I had an anxiety attack. I think it was last weekend. Last weekend was a was a little overwhelmed last weekend. Dave and Italian, you know what we call indigestion. Yes, we get the agita. That's what I call it, the agita. Yeah, it's funny because I do use that term. I'll be at work and I'm like, oh my God, I got agita. And people are like, what the hell's agita? And Jack says, for me, they all affect me. Memory, I'm surprised I can remember anything at all. I went through that with, let me put that back up. Why did I take it down? Oh, wait a minute. Wrong one. Hold on. I want to do this. The effect on my memory. Yeah, that is, so I'll tell you. Let's put this all right on the table. When I was in, this is when I'll tell you when I found out. So, 5th and 6th grade is when we all found out that Dave had, well, it was elementary school. It might have been before 5th. Might have even been 4th grade. We're going back some time here to remember. That, I was diagnosed with ADHD, and that's when I was put on Ritalin. And, when you're developing, right, I started, even though I had ADHD, I've always had a high IQ, and I was doing pretty good in class. Now, the problem is I would get my work done faster than most of the other students and then get restless. Then that leads to disruption in the class and blah, blah, blah. What's going, and that's, you get diagnosed with ADHD. Then they put me on Ritalin. My grades and test scores went right down. And that period of time when I was on Ritalin, I don't remember it. I mean, I remember it, but I don't remember what I learned in school. It's like it's a hole in my brain. And it yeah, it's just I was walking around like a zombie. My mom tells me, it's like, yeah, you would come home from school and just go in the bedroom and just lay on the bed. That's it. That was my existence. Get up, go to school, go home, sit on the bed, lay on the bed, watch TV, just complete vegetable. So that's when that ended. Jack says, I had to figure out my diagnosis myself at age 26. Yeah, that happens. Because depending on like where you live and the doctors and stuff like that, mental health is such a taboo in this country. And it's really a shame because a lot of people have a lot of these issues. And it's like it's like there's two sides of the spectrum, especially when it comes to children, right? You get those people that say, the kid's acting up in school, he just needs a chapap, right? Which is not really the right approach. But on the other hand, there's the other side of the spectrum where, the kid's got ADHD, let's just break out the pills. And all of a sudden, you're a kid going to school with a pill box, like you're a 55, like you're an 85-year-old woman taking, or man, I shouldn't be. Oh, that came off as very misogynistic. Oh my God, an 85-year-old old person, and just taking pills and pills and pills and walking around like a complete eggplant. No, you gotta really. This country, and even all countries, when it comes to mental health, needs to. Each person's different, and you got to really be able to delve into that individual's issues and target them. That's why I'll tell you what, I am all for self-medicating if it works for you. And that's kind of how I started doing what I do for myself. And of course, I've talked it over with my doctor, and they're like, she's like, my doctor's awesome. Her name's Megan. And she's like, yeah, that I've read the studies too, where it does help. And then she says, just be careful of this, this, and this. Perfect. Works for me. But it is. It's a really tough thing that a lot of people shy away from even talking about. Mental health issues. I didn't even plan on this live going into that, but I think it's such a great topic that we should talk about it, because I think so many of us, are afflicted with some of these afflictions, and what are the things we can do to get us through, right? Get us through life, and that is for me a lot of meditation and a moderate amount of weed. That's all I do. I don't put anything else in my body, not even caffeine. Like I said, I have a caffeine sensitivity. This is decaf. It's McCafe. Viola says, it's not easy, but for me, it was important to stop being afraid of these feelings. Absolutely. Absolutely. If you succumb to these feelings, you become a shut-in. Now, even my mom went through a period of her life where she had anxiety so bad that she became what they call agoraphobic. And she had a whole year where she didn't work. Luckily, my dad had his own businesses and we did okay for money. But she never left the house. She didn't even get dressed. She stayed in the pajamas for a whole year straight. I mean, she would change pajamas and never left the house. It was a very debilitating time, and for her life. She got help, and it's and she got over that. But that's like when you got it really bad. Let me see, there's a few more. Somewhere says, I don't always agree with putting all children on meds. They don't understand that some children today just need to be kids or not to be quiet. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think too many people today want children to be, like a statue. Let's put the child over here. It sits there. It doesn't make any noise. It sits there like a porcelain doll. Come on, that's not no. Look, I was a brat as a kid. Let me tell you, I was, I was the one. I used to, we used to get bottle rockets and tie our GI Joe men to the thing and send it up in the air. And I used to go down to the shore, and they had these. I think they were just not storm drains, but like water runoff drains from the houses, like from the gutters, that would go into the water. Well, I would shoot bottle rock up it. You would hear the bottle rocket, the whistling one, go all the way up the pipe. It would go, oh, boom, and then you see the people come out of the house. Oh, I was a brat. There's no two ways about it. I was a brat. Emily says, I'm agoraphobic. Let me tell you, I mean, I haven't gotten to that point, but I've seen what that can do. That is a very tough thing. My heart, I'm going to send you all kinds of healing energy because it's a tough thing. It's a tough thing to just be afraid of the front door. Like my mom went through it for a whole year. She says, but mildly. Well, that's good. Like my mom for a year was pretty severe. Like she couldn't leave the house. Like she left the house to go to the doctor's office, and that's it. It was tough. It was tough. D-Side, this is a good topic today. My anxiety was driving me to upset. Listening to this helps. Another aspect of it, D-Star, is the fact that when we realize that we're not alone in this mess, that in and of itself helps, right? I think people like us that have these anxiety, depression, all that stuff, we can help each other out. It's a strength in numbers. It really is good to know that there's others like us out there. We can help each other. Someone time says, when I was a kid, I'm 60 now, we were allowed to be children in school. Today, no, and it's sad. Oh, absolutely. I can't imagine. No, I'm not 60. I'm in my 40s, but it's still the same thing. Life is so different now than when we were kids. First of all, we had to run to the neighborhood. Do you remember when you were a kid? I mean, I would get my bike out and I would drive miles, friend's house. Then we used to go this other way. There was a theater, like one of those little neighborhood theaters where you can go see a movie for like $1.50. So we'd go there. We would go down to the water. Yeah, we were being brats, but we were not doing anything really bad, right? We weren't robbing cars and smashing windows. We were just, we let off bottle rockets and stupid shit like that. But we were able to be kids, even in school. We had teachers. Here's one thing. I remember I had a science teacher in school. Because here's another thing. Because you think about the way a kid's mind works. You ever sit and watch? And I do this all the time. I love watching cartoons. I mean, I'm sorry. It's got to be the ADHD mind. We need that like this to keep us, keep our attention. You go to school, and I remember the science teacher. I think his name was Mr. Ying. And he took an approach. He said to himself, and I'm not paraphrasing, I'm assuming, because this is what it appeared to be, that I need to teach children science, this stuff, which already, okay, science tends to be interesting to kids. But he went a step further. He's like, I'm going to make this fun. And yeah, he would, instead of the plain old like dittos, you remember dittos? The teacher used to have that machine that went ba-chung, 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 and it would make, this is before we had copiers. My God, I'm showing my age. But he would handwrite them. The questions would be in form of cartoons and stuff like that. And it made it interesting. So he would, there would be a ditto with a few questions on it. And then we would do labs that were fun. And he took this mundane thing and turned it into something entertaining. Because you think about it, that's how, the best way to learn. You got these other teachers, all right, read pages 101 to 145, and then you're going to have homework on it. And you're going to tell a kid to just read a whole bunch of, that ain't going to happen. Some kids are going to start reading. Then that's going to turn into, spitballs and passing notes and flicking a lot and doing all the, stupid things that kids do in school. What do you think is going to happen when you can't really teach? You throw a book at a kid, it's not going to work. But yeah, I remember the days when kids could be kids. I remember nowadays with, and it comes down to the times. It's a tough thing with schools and stuff today. With, all of the really, school shootings and all this other stuff that's going on today, really leads to the paranoia and, so now, let's say you have a kid, they're just kind of being a little rough in the hall. All of a sudden, it becomes a federal crime. But that we used to, oh my God, here's another one, dodgeball. Do you know, at least here, that dodgeball they can't do it in schools. None of the schools here play dodgeball anymore. I remember when I was a kid for gym class, I used to love it. We all used to. We would go into the gymnasium and the teacher would just throw like 20 of those little red, soft, inflated balls in the gymnasium and says, all right, today's dodgeball. Kids, have at it. And we would just pelt each other with these soft balls and have a blast. Oh, you don't get that in school today. So let's see. When I was in kindergarten, we were kids, even in first grade, not today. They want to turn the able, to be, yes. I know what he's trying to say. Yeah. Right. Even in kindergarten, you want a kindergarten kid to sit there and read a book. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Kindergarten, when I was in kindergarten, it was finger paints and drawing and stuff like that. Sometimes, so when especially little boys want to act like children right away, they want to give out meds. Absolutely. Boys are brats. I know, I'm one. Right? You tease each other. Oh God, I remember, the girl that sits in the desk in front of you has got long ponytail. You yank on it. Yeah, it's all part of being a kid. And now on the other side of it, yes, sadly today, kids are vandalizing and stealing. Schools today are often more like babysitters, as the classrooms are so large in number and have turned, into free-for-all. Absolutely. Here's the thing that I find remarkable about this little tidbit. And even around here, classrooms have become bigger and bigger and bigger, and yet they close schools. Yeah, I get that, save money, but I mean, I don't know. There's got to be a better way, right? Because, look, our capital city. So, the Providence school system, they just did a study. It was so bad It was so bad that the state took over running the Providence schools, and now they finally just hired a new superintendent, but it's a mess. You got kids in there. It's just not a good environment for learning. And yeah, you have, the bad eggs, but like, what constitutes a bad egg? I mean, the thing is, I go back to if it was engaging enough, they're going to find a way to engage kids. And I think that we're on the precipice of this, where with technology, someday we're going to stumble across a way to teach in which kids don't realize they're learning, right? We've eked on it a lot through the years with, educational video games and stuff like that, but they're going to find a way to just make this stuff engaging, make it more applicable to real world, and, you'll have more interest in it. And I think that's a big problem is like, yeah, especially in the inner city, you have kids that they come from not the best homes, and, they go to school and it's just not engaging. What happens? Yeah, they're going to start vandalizing the place. They're going to, you think about it, a school is an ecosystem in and of itself. And in that ecosystem, if everybody in that ecosystem doesn't find their place, they're going to make a place, and it's going to be, a lot of the negative stuff, Nicole says, talking about the older grades. Oh yeah. Well, it's the same thing in the older grades. Let me tell you something. I struggled through high school. I had like a C average. When I went to my first year of college, well, needless to say, forget about the first year of college. I went to the New England Institute of Technology for computers, and I graduated on the dean's list. How do you go from barely making it through high school to a dean's list college student? Someone explain that one to me. I have my own theories, and it's simply as schools you get these teachers that just are there to get a paycheck, and it's not engaging. Whereas now you get into a college, and the college professors are a little more, there's more at stake there, right? Denise says, when I was a kid, I remember all my friends' numbers and addresses. We rode our bikes, played until the sun came down. Then it was home time for dinner and bedtime. Yeah, I remember that. Here's the thing. I remember, right? So this was the rule. Yeah, we can go out, roam the neighborhood. Yeah, you just back before the sun goes down, when the street lights come on, as my mom used to say. When the street lights come on, it's time for you to head home. On weekend days, right, we had dinner Fridays and Saturdays, especially, or during the summer. I never even had a curfew. We lived in a fairly quiet neighborhood. Down the end of the street, we had a big baseball field and and we used to go out at night and just play manhunt in the woods. We'd be in the woods. Now, think about this. Think about this in today's terms. Outside in the woods, when it's dark at night, as kids playing. If you process that for a minute, in today's terms, it's terrifying. It's terrifying. I, as an adult, wouldn't want to go in those woods today. As a kid, we're playing manhunt in those woods when we were kids. This is how times have really changed. Opal says, yeah, outside till the sidewalk lights turned on. Yeah. Now you even go out. Kids just don't go out and play. Let's see. I think the act of writing assignments worked to wire a developing brain in one fashion. And the more current technology wires the brain is different manner. Yes, that's a whole other piece. How do I pronounce that? Is that Groon? where is it? These things. And even as adults, we're tied to these things. One of the most poignant pictures I've ever seen to depict today's times. There was this picture, and I saw it on Facebook, and I don't have it, and I don't remember, but they had a whole family sitting around the dinner table. Every single one at the table looked like this. Now, I'm a tech guy. Let me tell you. I mean, I'm doing YouTube videos, and, I have my phones, and I have iPads, and I work in technology. But there is a time, there should be a time where you put that stuff down. Like Lucian, I'm going to get myself in the doghouse. Lucian's really bad with that. Like, he'll come home, sit down on the couch, and boom, he's on his phone. And I sit there and I'll purposely like say things to him. Doesn't, huh? You were saying something? But it's the truth. It's a really true thing. Sports, the arts, marking learning interest today, it's just going from one test to another. Yeah. And I've never been a big sports nut, but the arts is one thing that's huge. We have no arts in school these days. When I was in junior high, I learned how to play the guitar. We had a band. We used to play during first lunch once a week. That's arts, right? They don't have that today. Anyways. There he is. Is he mad? What's the matter? Oh, there's some laughing. But anyways, so it's a really interesting time we live in. And wow, we rambled about a whole bunch of stuff today, but it's all good stuff. And it's hot. So let's put it out. Any more comments and questions? It's all about the dodgeball, learning to cope with society. I think that that's a big problem with today, is that kids aren't learning to cope with society. And that, is evident in like how people are turning out. It's those things that teach you how to work as a team, cope with society, deal with other people. It's a tough thing. But anyways, any questions? I will answer any questions today, because I'm going to take a minute to just kind of do a little bit of the wizard's pipe. If you could dodge a wrench, you can dodge a boat. Well, yeah. Dave, yes, the kids need the arts. It keeps the creative mind. Absolutely. Yeah, Lucian's listening in. Oh, it's hot in this house too. What the hell? I think the heat just kicked on. And when I wear this hat, it makes my brain warm. But anyways, it was a good chat for today. What has your this is an interesting question, because I'm gonna answer this question with a question. What do you mean by shadow work? Because I'll put this out there. Some people think shadow work meaning black magic. Others mean shadow work meaning magic at night with moonlight magic. So I honestly don't look at things in the perspective of like light or like shadow magic or shadow work. So kind of clarify what you mean by that. For me, magic is magic, and every spell I do is purposeful. So I'm not sure what you mean exactly by shadow work. Like, what is your definition of shadow work? And I'll kind of try to answer it best I can. I typically, every single spell or ritual is purpose driven. I don't classify them as shadow or light or dark. I haven't, to be honest, I haven't watched her shadow work series. Not to get into too much detail, but how to put this succinctly. We I don't really follow her much anymore. There was a little bit of a falling out between Lucian, myself, and Mama, and so we've decided just kind of amicably do our own things. So I don't know what her shadow work series is. Let me talk about some rituals that I've worked on. Like I said, I've been working with Baron Samedi. And what I do with him, it's a meditative type of state. It is, I will call upon him. I find him uplifting because Baron Samedi tends to be a jovial, a very upbeat fellow deity. I envision, I'm a very visual. It's like using magic and stuff to work on yourself and trauma and stuff. Okay. Got it. Boom. Let's put this up here. So the self magic. So I have a few go-tos with self healing and self magic. One thing is meditation. I can't really say it enough. It's that turning the volume in your brain down, right? The day's hecticness that's got you all wound up. You've got to kind of get that out of your brain, send that on its way. So meditation's one good piece. Another thing with kind of, so with meditation, and now the negative or trauma or that stuff in your life, so the way I approach that, you're going to divide those things into two parts. We have the stuff that just is and we can't deal with, and then we have the stuff that we can impact. And what I mean by that, the stuff that we can't deal with, conflict at work, people at work just pissing you off, neighbors pissing you off, just stuff like that. You can't change it, but what I will do, and I do this very carefully because I am a I am a big advocate of karma. So I tend to very reluctantly do any sort of offensive spell. Every ritual I do in this realm is for protection. And that could be, using crystals to keep me protected, grounded. Again, like I said, meditation, working with deities, working with Baron Samedi. I know what you're saying. The shadow self, working with deities helps because I can use them. Sometimes those things I will give up to them and seek advice. Working with Apollo. Apollo is more of a sexual energy I get from him. So a lot of it on the shadow side of things, dealing with those internal things. A lot, you could actually say this whole talk we had today really could pertain to the shadow self, right? When you're thinking about anxiety, ADHD, depression. My go-to is meditation. Another thing I do, because I believe that we get a lot of info from dreams. Hello, is it Norvision? Welcome. So I think we get a lot of good info from dreams, whether it be and Denise, I see that question. I will get to that one too, because that's another good one. Where'd I go? Sometimes your subconscious will speak to you through dreams. Keeping a dream journal is one of the best things you could do, because you will find different tidbits of information about yourself. Aren't you scared a demon might attach itself to you? Very interesting, very good question. I do a lot of, so it's very important to keep your spaces and self cleansed. I'm always burning sage in this, in here. Lucian's always burning sage. Keeping your space cleansed. I also, for myself, for protection, I always wear crystals, and I will sage myself. I'll take the sage and I will sage myself. Do you remember in the beginning when I talked about a specific protection meditation? And what I do, we were talking about putting ourselves in the bubble. What I do, and I used to do this before I went ghost hunting. I'm talking about demons, right? I've been on some pretty scary ghost hunts. Believe it, I could do a whole series on that. But before I will do that, I will light sage, some candles, and I will meditate. And that's where the envisioning that protective energy shell comes to play. I will get a protective crystal. I will meditate with that. And I will envision you do your cleansing, which however you do a cleanse meditation, I'll breathe in and out the energy. And then I envision that energy shell that I make as hard as diamonds, so that stuff cannot penetrate me. The second thing is when you're leaving a place. This is good. This is a really interesting. When you go visiting a cemetery, like we recently went on a ghost hunt with one of the local paranormal groups that we met through one of our local witchy shops, and we went on a ghost hunt in a historic cemetery. Upon leaving, again, I'll sage myself. At a cemetery, I'll leave an offering, but I will sage myself and cleanse myself. Second part, Reiki. Reiki has been a big part of my life since I reintroduced myself to it through October, who was my Reiki master. That doesn't really so much pertain to spirits, but there's a lot of little things. I did a whole show on witch's bottle, so my whole property is protected by my witch's bottle. I've got a broom by each door, so I keep a very, very cleansed space. As soon as I wrap this live up, I'm going to light up some sage. I did have some incense. And actually, I want to show you guys, not to squirrel a bit, because I'm going to light another one. Very interesting incense. I got this at the Fantastic Umbrella Set Factory, where I bought a bong or a water pipe. And I thought it was cannabis scented. And I bought it out of curiosity because I thought to myself, what the hell would want to smell? Because it's not the best smelling smell. But it's designed to, when you're smoking cannabis, mask the smell. At any rate, I love the smell of this incense. So I bought more and I light it. I love incense. I believe working. So as a wizard, certain practitioners gravitate to certain types of spells and or ritual. And what I mean is some people will be into ceremonial stuff. Some people do candle magic. Some people do a lot of herbal magic. I do a lot of candle magic. And this one's kind of crooked. Hope it burns. Hold on a second. I'm fixing an incense stick. I hate when they're crooked and they don't want to sit in there just right. Like, what the hell? Yeah, we'll do it. Oh. Did my thing just come apart? What the hell? I want to light my incense, but it's not cooperating. Like, come on. I have a live to do, incense. All right, never mind. I'll light it later. But yeah. Another thing I do is I've actually gotten a bit into essential oils. I love patchouli and sandalwood. I've been wearing patchouli and sandalwood. I like the smell of it, but I also think it really helps. Gets in and helps my aura, if you would. So I do a lot of that. This is interesting. I am a necromancer, practice blood sorcery, necromancy, and have been told I am a starseed. Was raised Roman Catholic, but also raised praising death. Oh, and I do art photography. For first thing, welcome to the channel, and you're very interesting. I want you to check out our Facebook group because I would love to have you on one of the popcorn parties or as an interview. It's very interesting. I've studied some necromancy, and I've studied some demonology. Now, dealing with demons directly is a lot more complicated. And I will caution people against, hey, I know this haunted place where there's a demon. I'm going to sage myself and I'm going to go in there and bang pots and see if I can reach the demon. No. You really don't want to kind of go headlong into that. Oh, you're not on Facebook. Oh, I'm sorry. We got to find a way to I'd like to interview you or talk to you about, because it's a very fascinating subject. But dealing with demons directly takes a lot of preparation. Really have to have the mind, the body, the spirit really centered before you really want to go into that, because the entities, not even just demons, entities can lash. They can attach themselves to you. They can lash out at you. I'll tell you a particular story. This is when I first started ghost hunting. I was with a group. It was we had a small paranormal group, and I really wasn't. This was a while ago, so I really didn't have my wits about me. I was sitting in this lady's house that was haunted, in her laundry room, which was in the basement. She said was haunted. And I know some of you have heard this story, and I'm sitting there and I'm being a smart ass, and I'm like, oh, I know you're here. What? You're quiet? You don't want to talk? You don't want to say anything? Are you afraid? Are you a chicken goat? And I was just being stupid. Well, off to my left, there was an iron board with an iron on it. The iron flew across the room, nearly this far from my head, hit the wall to this side. It wasn't a very big room, hard enough to break the plaster. That was probably one of two very scary ghost hunting situations. Another one being one of my early mentors asked me to go and cleanse a house and do a ghost hunt with her because she knew I did ghost hunting, because she had a friend who was being terrorized by a spirit. And we went. I didn't really know much about cleansing a house back then. I mean, I was just able and learning how to cleanse myself. But let's finish through this story because it has a sad ending. So we went there, and I did my ghost hunting piece, and she was going to do the cleansing. And I had I just did my phone, and I wish I still had the phone. I traded it in and wiped it without getting the file off of it. But I caught an EVP that my hair, well, I don't have hair now, but when I had it, stood up. It was just a horrible, think terrifying EVP, and that instant thought that comes in your mind is probably pretty accurate. It didn't say anything. It did. It was just like a wretched moan, but it was very clear, and it came from this person's bedroom. Presented that info, that data and all that stuff, and we did the cleansing, and some time passed. Long story short, so he ended up killing himself in that room. And his girlfriend, so from what I heard, and like I said, this is all hearsay, ended up, getting possessed, so they say. And I don't know what came of her, but it was a really tough, really terrifying situation. So since then, it's a very, very, I'd like to start ghost hunting again, but it's a proceed with uber amounts of caution. It's not something to go into lightly. He says, "Oh, believe me, I have stories. Oh my God, and I want to hear them." Have you and Lucy ever thought of doing a spirit day where you try to talk to spirits? Yeah. We've done Ouija sessions. As a matter of fact, I did a kill. I don't know if October's still in here, but we did a killer Ouija session where, let me tell you, the spirits were talking that day. Again, a lot of times when I dream walk or journey, I will open myself up and listen for spirits to see what they have to say. But yeah. I mean, spirits are all around us. I mean, I know that I have a certain, there you are, October. Remember the Ouija session? The spirits were talking that day. We had a Ouija session. It was crazy. It was really crazy. Let me see. Let me think. I lost my train of thought. Yeah. So I've done like that. We haven't done it together. She says, "Oh my God, yes." Yeah, that was off the hook. I haven't had anything like that. recently. But yeah, we have definitely done that. And yeah, very interesting thing. All righty. Let me see. Oh my God, we've been on for like almost 2 hours. I have no luck with my spirit board yet. It's a tough thing. It's really tough. You got to hit it just right because there's a lot of times I've broken out the spirit board and nothing has happened, and that happens. It's sometimes they want to talk, sometimes they don't. I recommend, and this is something I just found my recorder. The best way or the best luck that I've ever had with dealing and talking with spirits is through EVP. Get a simple recorder. I have a digital recorder. Make it nice and quiet and just ask questions. You will, if you do it enough, you'll catch something. You got to listen very carefully and you'll catch something because they're out there. 2 hours. Let's go for 2 more. Well, I'm kind of wobbling around because I have to go to the bathroom really bad. unless you want to take a quick break, I'll run and go do my business and I'll be right back. I'm trying to hold it. But yeah, that's a whole that is a whole alive in and of itself. Talk about spirit contact. In spirits in general, because here's the thing with spirits that a lot of people, the vast majority of spirits are what we call ghosts, or people who have walked the earth once in human form and are just no longer here. Now, they can be here for a number of different reasons. There's some things called residual hauntings, where what happens is that a spirit may play out a significant event in their life over and over again on rewind, on replay. They call that a residual haunting. There's other kind of hauntings where that entity or that spirit may need something to pass on. That's where communication really comes in. And I had an experience like this when doing a ghost hunt. There was, a son who had passed away in a car accident, who was trying to contact his mom to tell her that basically just that he was okay. But when you're in tune to, when you're open enough to hear spirits, but you don't know how to interpret them, it quickly turns really scary. Lights turning on, different bumps and noises. So we did this ghost hunt because she was terrified, and we did with one of those little meter things, blinky. That's not EVP, EMF reader session, where you ask questions, make it blink, and it worked really well. And it ended up just being that her son wanted her to know that he was watching over her and that he's okay. And that was a great moment. That was really a great moment. Earthbound spirits. Absolutely. So that's the spirit side of things. Now, the elephant in the room is, demons. And what's a demon? A demon is a spirit or an entity that never walked this earth in human form. And I have a book somewhere on demonology. If I can find it. Hold on. Because I was looking at it not that long ago. Let's see if I can find it. Ugh. Not having much luck, so I may not be able to find it. Well, I can't find it. But I had a book on demonology where I kind of really was studying. And there are dozens upon dozens, hundreds and thousands of different demons that exist in different spiritualities. Those are the spirits to be really careful of. And that's not to say people have gotten haunted by, demons. Like I said, my example, I didn't have the knowledge, that person who we've done the ghost hunt for, from, my early mentor, I didn't have the knowledge or the ability to really take that into conclusion, but I would have loved to have found out which demon that is, gone in protected. And in this book, I have a book that will let you know a little bit about each demon. You find out about the demon. There are ways to either get them to move on, or to, dispel them. Which is my recommendation for anybody who has been or is in contact with demons. Don't play with that shit. Because you don't want to mess with that. Just just don't mess with that. Not unless you're really, you're trying to help someone who may be getting haunted or stuff like that. Hey, let me see. Hi, sorry guys, was trying to get things finished after 5:30 a.m. Sunday morning. Ooh, 5:30, that's early. What are you doing up this time? That is early. But yeah, so that's so we've worked and we went on that ghost hunt with it was with Rhode Island Paranormal. That's what it was. We went on a ghost hunt with them at a local cemetery. So it was a very, very, very cool thing. So we have. Any other questions? Let's take a quick peruse up here. Oh, someone said can. Yeah. I always have we always have candles going. Candle magic is my favorite. Yeah, we always have candle. Like I said, while I'm doing this live, I did a quick offering for Barrel on Samity. I take a little cannabis, put it in the black candle, and I light it, let it kind of absorb into the wax and burn off. It's just kind of how I do my offering, because from what was presented to me, Banwan likes his smoke. But yeah, you have not been to sleep. Oh, you got to get to bed. That's a lot of pulling an all-nighter. God bless. All right. Anyways, and on that note, yeah, I am pretty much out of material. If we have any more questions, give me something to talk about, or we're going to wrap it up. Let me see if I have anything else. Necromancer, just kind of look. Yeah, yeah, I do a lot. We do, and here's another thing with our space here. Yeah, I'm doing protection stuff, and Lucian's doing protection stuff. Let me tell you, we're two really, we're two witchy people under the same tiny little roof. I don't I don't want to tempt fate, but spirits need to be on their best behavior when they come through this door. Let me tell you. Oh, someone said sage baths. That's interesting. Never thought of that. But yeah, I mean, I've done other baths with herbs. I've never used sage. I've lit a bunch of sage in the bathroom, getting it nice and filled while, in a bath, but I've never put it actually in the water. It is such an important part of daily practice. Yes, it is. Absolutely. Cleansing and protection, centering and grounding are the cornerstones to practice, right? Really, really cornerstones. Yeah, you can't wield the left without the right. He who fears the dark shall never see the light. Only through damnation you will find divination. Very interesting. Yes. You need to be aware. You can't be blind and exist only in the light. I mean, you can exist. I mean, I consider myself a pretty, I walk on the light side of things. I call myself a gray wizard because, not in a typical sense of gray, but it's white and dark. You have to embrace, you have to at least understand that part, right? I think everybody who does any sort of spiritual work should eventually pick up a book on demonology, even if it's just to educate themselves on what to be careful of. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to, because a lot of times, because here's the thing with haunting, a lot of times demons can manifest themselves as as regular spirits, as kind spirits. As a lot of times they can even come through as like children, and just when you're getting fooled, all of a sudden, boom, you get yourself into trouble. Love Himalayan sea salt. I eat a lot of Himalayan sea salt. We have some salt lamps around here. Very Himalayan sea salt, the pink salt, very good. Very, very good. We always need more sage. I got a bag of it over here loose. And I'll tell you, sage, I'm going to give a recommendation here. I used to do a lot with sage sticks, where I'll walk around the house and, and I still do that, and what I do is I walk around the house clockwise, and I will make in front of each portal. That means window, door, latch, whatever. I will make a cross and a pentagram in a clockwise around the whole house for protection. But pick yourself some loose sage. Get yourself, I wish I had one to show you. It's way over there. Get yourself like a little pot, like a cauldron. Fill it halfway with either sand. Sand is the best. And you take the stem of the loose sage and you push it down in there. Excuse me. Light it and let it smoke. I'll put one in each room of the house and get this place all nice and smoky. And now instead of doing my ritual with a sage stick or smudge stick, I'll get the place all sagey and I'll use my wand or staff to do the same thing. That way I'm not struggling to keep it lit and getting distracted with the lighter and the feather blowing it around. I have this place, it's like the fire alarms are going off, and I kind of do it like that. So definitely, if you like sage, definitely check out the loose sage. I don't know where Lucian's the buyer in this practice. So I don't know where he gets it. I think a lot of places you can get it. Brace yourself. Oh, he's on his way home. I wonder where he got at the Botanica. You have no. Vio says, I have no idea what I have in the house, but when they get too loud, I tell them to come tell me what they want or be quiet. Usually they get quiet for a few days. You know what I would do, Viola? Get a, let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Where is it? Hold on. Give me a second. I'm going off grid. Get yourself one of these things. It's just a little digital voice recorder. And have an EVP session. Because a lot of times spirits will bump and bang things, but they can't talk directly to you. Sometimes some can, but a lot of times you do a little EVP session, put this thing down, ask some questions. Is there something you want to say to me? Or during one of those noisy times, just take it, walk into the room and say, look, I'm going to put this down. If there's something you want to tell me today, Speak it into this device. Leave it in there for like an hour or two and listen through the audio. See if you get something. Sometimes you will. It actually works quite well. The sage bath isn't like a water bath. It's when you enclose yourself in a room. But oh, oh my God. You're absolutely right. And yes, I do that. I sage myself. Now, not only do I've never done it like that. I actually would try that because I have a bathroom that's really small. I could box myself, basically hot box the bathroom with sage. Haven't done that, but I do. I will take a sage stick and I will run it all over myself, all around, and bathe myself like that. Definitely have done that. Question, Dave. Is Lucy still in a bubble? I try to keep him in a bubble. Keeps him safe. Keeps him from spending too much money. Oh, so you got it from an elder. Yeah. So I learned how to sage myself or others from an elder. I didn't call it sage bath. I just, you light the sage stick and I go along the arms, down the sides, along the legs, and around the head, and just give them a sage bath like that. So I've never thought of basically doing like a hot box sage bath. I'm gonna definitely try that. I cook with Himalayan salt. Absolutely. I do too. I've got it. I buy it and it's got its own grinder. It's very healthy for you. Let's see. Lucy. I scrolled too far. Yeah, so he guys says same thing. Yeah, very similar. Loose sage is neat. We get it from a local King of Swords. A sort of type. Cool. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm sure there's a few witchy shops around here that have it. If not in the city, they would have it. Hello, good morning. Hello, Isis Mommy. Hello, how are you? Welcome. We've just been having a sesh. That's what I call this, like a sesh. Or chit chat, this and that. Just kind of talking about whatever. Pops Bubble, I'm free. What did you buy, Lucian? Tell us. I didn't even check your Dollar Tree. Yeah. 1 pound bag of, I'm sure. Yep. Oh, it's $3 at Walmart. Ooh. But yeah, definitely saging yourself is a really good thing to do. Yes, indeed. How about another thing I don't use much. But Palo Santo is another. I love the smell of Palo Santo. Doesn't burn as easy as sage. If you want to do Palo Santo, best method for burning Palo Santo is you get the little coals, like the resin coals, or even use if you have a resin burner. Light a coal, take your Palo Santo stick, and just kind of angle it and let it sit on top of the coal, and that Palo Santo smoke will start filling the air. Let me see. Inward and outward spirals around the body with sage stick. Do you like Palo Santo stick? Yeah, I just talked about. Yeah, it's funny. I just didn't realize you. Yeah, I just talked about Palo Santo. I do. I like Palo Santo. I don't use it much because it's. I think it's getting harder and harder to come by. Didn't it come from like Madagascar or something like that? There was some sort of thing around Palo Santo where it was being over harvested and stuff like that. Wrong one. Mountain rose herbs. That's where Lucian gets the sage. Juniper berry. Speaking of the bubble, juniper berry is a good alternative. I don't know. Have we ever burnt juniper berry? We'll have to talk about that when you get home. And I hope you're not texting and driving at the same time because I'll be mad. I'll have a retrograde moment. um, having a hot drink, saffron incense. Not aware of incense, but I got to get this one lit because it's awfully non-smoky in this house, and I don't like it. But this particular incense stick is a little bit on the crooked side. So let's get this going. We need some smoke up in here. I hate when the incense stick is crooked because then I can't close the lid on the incense holder, but that's fine once it gets going down. Back, had to use the bathroom. Me too. Any more questions? Let's see, go through the comments. I got a question. Let me put a question out there. About personal cleansing and personal protection and meditation. What are some of the things you guys do along those lines? I'll tell you what I do a lot of times. In the morning, my mornings are way too hectic. I will try to meditate for like 10 minutes while I'm laying in bed. I do my bigger meditations. So I get out at 4:15. I'm only like 10 minutes from home. So I'll be home by like 4:30. Lucian gets out at 5, gets home around 5:30. So in that time, I will kind of really do some meditation along, during that time. It's nice and quiet. Let's see. Not sure if you talked about this, but could you explain more about using crystals? I was gifted a freshly dug quartz crystal, but I don't know how to use it. That is the age-old question. So here's the thing. Different crystals have different energy properties. Quartz is a great grounding stone. Let's see what I have for quartz over here. Actually, I use... let's see if I got quartz. I don't use a lot of quartz. Let's see. I don't have a quartz. Closest thing that I use in place of quartz is my big and it's kind of like a quartz, my amethyst. So what quartz or like some crystals and here's a suggestion. Get a book if you're thinking of getting into crystals, and I wish I had that book ready. I really have to get my stuff ready. Get a book on crystals. You can get an app on your phone. So I think I might have one. Hold on, let me see what I've got for crystals. It's called Stone. All right. So I have an app called Stone. Let me see. I got to find... No. It doesn't have a search. Oh, by name. Quartz. So we have a number of different quartzes. Let's see what quartzes we have. Do we have any regular quartz? All right, smoky quartz. Right. So this is the page on smoky quartz. So this will give you an idea of like what I'm talking about, how the different crystals have a different effect. So right here, smoky quartz, it'll tell you clarity, protection, and calm. When life throws shade, grounding smoky quartz acts as a super absorbent sponge that takes in the energy that orbits the dark thoughts, negative voices, and passive aggressive, emails, passive aggressive stuff that you have your mind that's got your mind all wound up. With attributes of both transparent stones and black stones, smoky quartz is ideal for clearing the path ahead of dark, treacherous insecurities, fears, and those sociopaths and narcissists who come in The guys are friends. So each crystal has a different property. Let's, for the hell of it, amethyst. That's ametrine. Amethyst. So this is my amethyst stone. Wait a minute, is this ametrine? Hold on a minute. Hold on a sec. No, it's amethyst because it's labeled. So amethyst, clarity, cleansing, and protection. Right. So I use this a lot for. Dave, go to the bathroom. Historical tidbit. The ancient Greeks believed that amethyst got its purple shade when the god Bacchus, in full-on player's ball fashion, poured some out onto a clear crystal. They also believe it spared you from public drunkenness, train wrecks. Reach for the amethyst quick. All jokes aside, amethyst purifying energy is linked to releasing addictive behaviors. If you find yourself at the brink, call a friend, work a program, get help. It's out there. It can be very therapeutic to place amethyst on and around the head, breathing deeply into its protective energy to calm the mind and its cravings. Beyond that, the rich royal purple to claret hue quartz variation. Some of the best specimens come from Samba, Happy Brazil. I don't know what this is. Wow, this is written stupidly. It brings a rhythmic divine light to areas touched by the darkness. It can help illuminate an inner purpose. So moral of the story: different gems have different properties. This is one, yes. When I really want to clear my head. Hold on, I'm listening. I'm just trying to get my quartz thing out. I'll go to the comments. I'm going to listen. So when I'll break this one out and I will hold it. I love breathing in the energy of this amethyst. It is so grounding. So yeah, the best thing is, and you can even Google what the meanings of crystals are, because there's some that a lot of grounding. There's some that are good for divination. Some that are good for, there's so many different ones. They do all different things. Good for cleansing, absolutely. I've got 3 pounds of polished crystals I need to identify. Yeah. And it's tricky. So the best way, like this app that I have, it's not the best written. But the way it presents it is, it even gives you pictures. That's the first page. And you kind of can match your crystal up. Like I know this one. Another crystal that I like. And now this is a little different variation, but this is banded aragonite, right? Pure aragonite. Oh, he's a little wobbly. Pure aragonite. It looks like, is that one? Like this. Right? I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you can see that. That's kind of raw aragonite. And the properties of that: strength, confidence, and balance. Right? So, yeah. Another good one to have around during during retrograde. You need a little bit of inner strength. Keep your keep your aragonite around. This is it's a jasper. I forgot the name of it already. It's called crocodile jasper, but let's look up the jasper. Jasper. Jasper, balance, strength, and grounding. So these are the two I've been working with. And they're great retrograde for me because they both have grounding and strength. So some aspects when you're kind of thinking about retrograde and negative effects and needing strength to kind of get through that, you use those stones. Another great use for stones, if I can put this down, egg fell, is meditation. Again, certain stones are great for third eye work, chakra work. So you meditate on that. You hold that stone while you meditate, opens up the third eye. Now, let me pull another stone off my shelf of stones. Ametrine. This is the ametrine crystal that I was attuned with for Reiki. So now this is my healing stone. When I really want to focus Reiki energy, either onto myself or another person, this stone I will use because it's attuned. My Reiki master attuned this, attuned me while this gem was under my chair. And it's ametrine. And let's see. I'll look up ametrine. And ametrine, clarity, motivation, and confidence. Right? So that's kind of how stones work. You really, and those energies can vary from person to person, but yeah, pick a, you got to get a good resource, and you could just Google it too. If you just want to Google the name of the stone, but it's hard. I have to, because I can't remember. Hold on, I gotta get comfortable. My cat's poking me over here. What you doing, kitty? You're biting. He's a biter. Oh, you couldn't see that. Let me see. I'll get him to bite me again. Come on, bite me. Bite me. Bite me. Bite me. Oh, you won't bite me now because they're all watching. Ow, ow. He bit me. He's a biter. But yeah, I like to, like I said, that app, and the app is called Stone. So we can figure out what the icon looks like. STO. Yeah, it's just a little round. So the icon is that one right at the top. It's just a little round ball. But it's called Stone. And anyway, you can get a book, you can do the web. You just kind of want to get to know the properties of some of the stones. And, I have little stones that I put in cages that I wear with me. I have friends that put different gems in their purses, in their pockets, at their desks. We have scullies. Yeah, it's just a healing thing. You just pick a couple of bad. Opal says, bad Thor. Bad Thor. You're a bad Thor. You are he's a good boy. He's a good boy. Cats are just wonderful creatures. Yeah. So you just kind of look at, what healing properties, and you'll find that carrying a particular stone with you kind of will help in certain situations. Version backwards, as in I am aware of many things experienced, many more just I have no clue why. Google has been the best friend. For sure, though, reading lots and lots. Yeah, Google is my friend. Google is the resource for everything. Let me tell you. And close that. I'm going to take another wonk of the wizard's pipe. Hey, Lucian's here. Oh, if we wait long enough, he'll show us. Where the hell did my lighter go? Yeah, let's. There it is. Let's see what Lucian bought. I'm sure he'll want to show it. I don't know if he's. But he usually sits in the car for like an hour before he comes in. Yeah. Bracelets. I have a couple of bracelets. I have a tiger's eye bracelet. Tiger's eye is a really good grounding stone. I use quite a bit. Why is he checking the mailbox? He needs to get in here and show us what he bought. But yeah. Yeah, get your butt inside. What you doing? So any more questions? So yeah, so gems, let me warn you, crystals and gems, it's like a black hole. There's so many and they're so awesome. You'll end up going to a gem show and going completely nuts. I have pieces that I adore. Like this guy. Look at this. I got this at the gem show here in Rhode Island. And this is, I don't even remember what it is, but I love this guy. What is this, Lucian? You got to this.
Oh, that's
I thought it was moon something. No, it's not. It's not moonstone. Moonstone's a whole different color.
Bought it.
Yeah, I don't remember what this is, but I love this guy.
Okay, I'm coming in. I'm coming in.
Here comes Lucian.
Ow, my hair. Oh my god, that hurt.
What you got? Don't sit on the cat.
I'm not sitting on him. Hi, everybody. I'm back.
We're in like 2.5 hours.
Oh, my hair.
Oh, quit your bitching and show us what you got. Look at 2 bags over there. What did you get?
No, they're just 2 statues.
Let's see them.
Oh, jeez.
Let's see them.
Jeez. Okay, so I just went on a tiny shopping spree. So the first statue I got is, so I already had a younger version of Elegua, who is one of the incarnations of Elegua. Here is the adult version of Elegua, all grown up.
Oh, let me see.
That I decided to get. Because
he's kind of hot.
I guess apparently Elegua is my body Orisha. And it's very weird because
your body don't look like that.
Girl, not what I mean. I mean, when I'm thinking about it, I'm just like, okay, so Elegua is a child incarnation, and it's kind of weird to be calling a child my father, literally. So I was like, I need to get a larger, more adult version of Elegua if I'm going to call him my daddy. And then I just got a larger version of Oya because she is my mother. Jeez.
No, there's something else in there. I heard it go
So here is Oya.
Wow.
Orisha of the winds, hurricanes, lightning, well, not lightning, thunder, fire, and guardian of the cemetery. So I got her.
She's pretty.
She is. I need the larger version.
I love that dress.
God, they're all perfect sizes. And then,
but wait, there's more.
Oh, I just got some Elegua cologne to wear at work.
Oh,
and then I just
smell?
got some bracelets to put on my Orisha altars.
That's it. Can I smell? How do I smell it? I want to smell. Oh, that's interesting.
I don't even know what it smells like. Give.
It's
Does it smell
very.
good?
It's interesting.
Ooh, it is glass.
It isn't interesting. Be careful. You got too much.
Oh, I love it. It
It is-
smells like coconut. It smells like the Bahamas.
Yes, very
Yes, I can
interesting.
smell like the Bahamas.
Oh, look, I like the feedback. You guys are hella cute. Positive vibes. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Noir Vision.
Oh, man. They are so adorable. Oh, he is so cute.
Wait, let me say hi to everybody.
Yeah, so pop in and say hi. You just got
hi,
back.
Opal. Hi, Noir Vision. Hi, Caroline. Hi,
Hi,
Arlene.
Ariana. Oh, no, it's Arlene.
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 Hi, Hecate. Hi, Denise. Hi, myself. Hi, Isis Mommy. Hi, October. Who else is here? Me talking. Hecate's Crossing. Hi, Jack. Hi, Groon.
That is pronounced Groon. I wasn't
Groon.
sure. Groon. I love it.
And then I think I said hi to everyone else that has been in the chat.
Yeah, pretty much. We're going way back. All righty.
Okay. Awesome.
So, anyways, we've been on 2.5 hours. I didn't think I could talk that long. Last call for questions. What do you got?
So, just to expand, because Dave asked if I had ever used the juniper berry.
Yeah,
I have. Basically, what it is you take the juniper berry itself. You kind of crush it a little bit. You don't have to like crush it till it's pulp. Just like crack it a little bit to get the juices flowing. You burn a charcoal disc, place the juniper berry on top, and it'll just start to burn.
Oh, okay.
Like normal. And that acts as a alternative to using sage or Palo Santo, because apparently juniper berry is like 100 times stronger when it comes to cleansing. It's stronger than Palo Santo. It's actually even stronger than sage, apparently.
Yeah, well, I never thought of that. Because I've done that with laurel leaves as offerings to which is just a bay leaf, offerings to Apollo.
Yeah.
And all kinds of resins. I don't even know where my resin burner is. It's got to be in that mess over there somewhere. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. It's probably one of my longest lives. But I'm out of stuff. Do you have anything else to talk about? Do you guys have any more questions? Ask them now while you can.
Oh, I have a question.
What do you got?
What are we doing for lunch?
Jesus, I'm not even hungry yet. Is it lunch?
Starving.
With that big... Holy shit, it's past 12.
Yeah, Mom.
I have no idea. I haven't even thought about it. We have to think about it. Yeah. What should we have for lunch?
Do you want pizza?
Oh, God, I could go for pizza.
Yeah, Domino's.
Yeah, we can do that.
Ooh, child.
We can do that. See that? We got that all worked out. All right. So we're going to move on to the... Yeah, I think we're going to wrap it up here. It's been 2 hours and 40 minutes. And Kate's got to go take a nap because he's up all night. I can't imagine. I've never been up all night. I've done all nighters. So we're going to wrap it up tomorrow. No, wait a minute. Did we change the days? That's right. Because
because I am actually starting to take classes on Sundays, guys. So I have to actually change my day of when I'm doing my class. So I'm actually going to be moving it to
I'll go on Monday.
Okay, I'll go Tuesday.
Just because I tend to work later on Tuesdays a lot. Tuesdays.
Oh, and I have Tuesday mornings off,
so you can prepare.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna just to kind of work to getting to a really good schedule that's practical for us. We're gonna move. So Wizard 101 is going to be Monday nights. We're going to kind of do it there. I'll probably do it around 7.
Oh, I can't do Chipotle. We had Chipotle last night.
Ugh.
Oh no, it wasn't last night. It was the night before.
So and you are going to do the hoodoo class on Tuesday nights.
Yes.
Same time?
Conjure 101.
Conjure 101.
Same time. Oh no, not same time, because that's 11 o'clock. I have to get ready for work because I work at noon.
No, you got to do it around 7.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing the hoodoo class at night. So 7:30, 8ish. Probably 8 o'clock Tuesday night.
Why so late?
Because I got to prepare. If I'm going to be doing like physical hands-on work, I need some time to prepare when I get home.
Here it says, we have art deck here at the MO, and with planes overhead, so noisy, old planes, no vids during the day. Oh, okay. Yeah. I see. You don't do videos because it's noisy. Okay, you guys have... Oh, he loves Chipotle. I
do. I love it.
Last 2 times,
Dave
I hate
doesn't
to say,
like it.
No, it's not that I don't like it. The last 2 times I've had it, I paid for it the next day. My body doesn't like it.
My body never pays for it.
Popcorn party is going to be next Friday.
I know. Do it tomorrow night since we're
no. I don't a popcorn party. I don't want to start doing the popcorn party on Sunday nights. I want to do it.
Well,
going
no,
into
just
the
to make
weekend.
up for this week.
Well, we could do something and just not call it popcorn party. We could do whatever. But no, popcorn party. I want to do the next popcorn party is going to be next Friday. But yeah, we can do something Sunday. Do you have anything else? So yeah, my Wednesday I will be doing my free readings, breaking out the cards. Thursday, what are you doing Thursday?
Hold on.
Okay, well that's about it.
Oh my god, it smells so good. Sorry. I sprayed the cologne on me.
It does smell good. I like it.
What was your question?
What do you just what do you have coming up for lives? What do you do? You doing tarot symbolism on Thursday?
I think so. Possibly.
Well, let's think about it. We can even just have a tarot discussion because I've been thinking about doing tarot comparison discussions. That's the same
Yeah,
thing as
which is
symbolism.
we'll change it to just tarot talk.
Tarot talk. Why
Tarot
not?
talk Thursday.
Tarot talk Thursday. All right. So popcorn party next week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Time
So
to go
don't
back
you-
to sleep.
So don't forget, that's his Instagram. This is my Instagram. And don't forget to check out the Facebook page. It's Crossed Paths, just like that. Hold on. The microphone's in the way. I can do it like Vanna. Gotta go this way. Gotta go this way. Hold on. Wow, I'm backwards. No. Yeah, I want to
What
do
are you doing?
Hold on.
Give it
Like
up,
this.
Dave. Give it up.
Cross paths and come and go down the side. All right, I'm messed up in the head. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining. This was a blast. We actually talked about a lot of good things.
Someone asked, sorry, what classes I'm taking.
Yeah.
The classes I'm taking is on Saturdave and how to work with the Orisha without being initiated right now. That's it.
Yeah. Yep.
That's all.
That's all, guys.
Okay.
Guys, mwah, we love you
all.
all. Thank you for joining us on the extended version of Saturdave. Yeah, Simon's on vacation, so I didn't have to get off too quick. We had a really good. We discussed a lot of cool things.
Yeah,
it was really good. All right, guys, love you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. And I gotta go to brand.
Yeah.